Welcome back to another video with Hugh James, and I'm down in the Cardiff offices today, and I'm joined by Abby, and we're going to be talking about professional negligence. So as always, nobody wants to listen to me waffling on, so we'll get stuck straight into it. Thanks, Abby, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Professional negligence. Explain to me what that means and what is it in the legal context.
Okay, so any professional that you go to see has a duty to provide you with their expert advice. And so if you go to see a solicitor or an accountant or an independent financial advisor, if they take on a case for you, they've got a duty to advise you properly. And if they don't advise you properly, then potentially you would have a claim. So in order for a professional negligence claim to exist, you've got to be able to show that the professional owed you a duty, that they breached that duty, so they didn't advise you to the standard that you would usually expect a professional in that area of expertise to advise, and that has caused you a loss. Okay,
and then how might this affect the military community? How does it tie in with the veteran-owned UK audience?
Yeah. So anybody who's instructed any professional potentially has a professional negligence claim. So that's anybody in any community. So if you've bought a house or sold a house, or if you've written a will, or a member of your family has written a will, or there's been an inheritance issue, or any contractual type service with a professional, you may have a claim. Specifically for military personnel, we deal with a lot of claims relating to personal injury. So either injuries that they suffered during their time of service, or injuries they've become aware of since they left service. So specifically, we deal with a lot of noise-induced hearing loss claims, and a lot of non-freezing cold injury claims, and claims which have affected often somebody's ability to stay in service, or affected the jobs that they've been able to get once they've left service.
Right, okay, that makes sense. And what about, so for those from the military community, what challenges do they face when it comes to professional negligence, and what can they do to kind of prepare themselves working towards making a claim?
So what we found is that over time, lots of people in the military have settled personal injury claims specifically, and they've then years later met up with former colleagues or gone to reunions and have started discussing injury claims, and have realised that their claim seems to have settled for considerably less than somebody else's. Now that doesn't always mean there's a negligence claim, because the way in which these claims are run are very specific to how long you would have served and what your prospects would have been and what you would have done after service. But usually it would seem odd if you had received significantly less than somebody else for the same injury. So I suppose one of the challenges is that somebody's already been through that legal process once to bring a personal injury claim, so it feels frustrating to have to go through the system again. And claims can take some time. We try as best as we can to advance claims as quickly as we can, and to negotiate with the other side as quickly as we can, but legal claims can take a couple of years if you can't get them sorted right at the start. So I suppose one of the challenges is that A, you've got to face that legal process again, and B, it can take some time. There are also very specific rules that you have to follow for a professional negligence claim, and people can get caught out if they don't have legal advice and try to pursue those claims themselves. So I just urge anybody that if they think they've got a claim, to come and get some legal advice.
Yeah, definitely seek that legal professionals advice there. So have you got any examples of current cases that you may be working on?
Yes, certainly. So we've recently acted for a group of individuals who had noise-induced hearing loss, and we were able, unfortunately they went to a solicitor who didn't advance their claims as they should have, And not only did these people not have their claims advanced, but they also got judgment against them for the other side's legal costs, which was obviously a terrible situation to be in. We managed to bring a claim against the original firm of solicitors. So not only did our clients end up having all of those legal fees that they were supposed to pay out paid for them, but we were also able to advance their original claims, so they walked away with the damages that they should have had initially. We're also dealing with quite a number for military personnel of non-freezing cold injury type claims, and these can be quite valuable claims. As an example, I'm currently acting for a gentleman who received about £15,000 in damages for his non-freezing cold injury claim, and we've revalued that, and we think that is a claim worth hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Wow, big difference.
Because no consideration was given originally for the pension, his loss of pension entitlement and loss of benefits had he been able to stay in the military and had he been able to pursue his career. So these can be very valuable claims. Yeah,
definitely. So what's the next steps for somebody then? If they think that they might have a professional negligence claim, where do they go next?
I would urge anybody who thinks they've got a claim to take some legal advice, because as I've said, there's really specific rules. There are also very specific time limits, and if you don't act within a certain time, you can be stopped from bringing a claim altogether. So if somebody sat wondering if their claim or with a niggle that their claim didn't settle for the sum it should have, I would urge them to get legal advice, because it may be that a claim exists, but the clock could be ticking on that claim.
Okay. And as always, people can go to the Veteran-Owned UK website. There's a Hugh James page there. They can take a look. Go directly over to Hugh James's website, and you can contact them directly from there. All the contact details are listed on there. So speak to a professional, get that advice, and just find out where you are and whether you've got a case or not. You're better off knowing than wondering whether you did. So
definitely.
Great advice, Abby. Thanks very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you all again in the next video.